Violet Jessup is describing just how strange it was to experience the sinking of the Titanic firsthand. She says at first, nobody was anxious to move, meaning move toward the lifeboats. In fact, the first boat was already being lowered with very few people in it. Given what we know now, that might seem odd. Didn't people want to get out of there? But the Titanic was sinking slowly, and it might have seemed safer to stay aboard than to leave on small lifeboats into a big, very cold ocean. By creating comparisons and contrasts, the author emphasizes how confusing everything was that night. A comparison shows similarities. A contrast shows differences. In this paragraph, an officer points out the partly filled lifeboat and says it's a shining example for backward souls. A shining example would be a good example. But do you think the officer really means that it's a good idea to have half-empty lifeboats? No, he's being ironic. Irony is a contrast between what is stated and what is meant. When the officer says backward souls, he's referring to people who have things mixed up, who are doing the wrong thing. So what the officer means is that the smart decision would be to board the lifeboats. The passengers got the officer's message. After his remarks, the crowd surged forward to embark or get on it. Do you notice the contrast? This next lifeboat has many passengers. The author writes, the boat was lowered very full, almost too full this time. The author notes the continued contrast in people's reactions, explaining that some passengers held back in need of coaxing or convincing, while a few were too eager, rushing to leave the sinking Titanic. As you continue to read into the lifeboat, notice how the author makes comparisons and contrasts to help you understand what it was like to experience one of the deadliest ship accidents in history.